Hey everybody, welcome back to A Better Way with Gersten Kimura podcast. Thank you so much for being here today and listening to this new episode. I'm really grateful that you have taken some time out of your day to join me here. So what we're going to talk about today is empowerment and evidence for you that exercising actually can really help you with your chronic sensations. If you haven't started incorporating exercising yet, you definitely should. And I'm going to share with you why this is the case, why exercise can truly help you. And I'm also going to share with you some of the people's experience, those people who are actually following my Train to Build Starter program. And I am sharing what they have to say about this. And you will see how they have been able to make progress and they're feeling stronger. And in some cases, their sensations are even down. So this is very, very important information, I think, for those of you who are still doubting it, who are still thinking, I can't move, I can't exercise because my sensations are so bad. I want to show you what is possible if you trust yourself and if you tell yourself a different story. Before I get started with all that, I wanted to remind you that if you are brand new to strength training and you want to get a taste of what it might be like to do a little bit of strength training, then sign up for my 14-day course, which is called Strong and Sensitive. And this course actually combines strength exercises, very doable also for beginner levels, but I also have a different level for more intermediate people, so you can choose which one you want to do. And it also combines it with mindset tools. We're talking about if you're a highly sensitive person, if you have these mind-body sensations, how to really work with your mindset, how to work with your emotions, because this work needs to be done too. I think this is such an important combination that we put together the mindset, the emotion, and the physical work, because all this needs to be done in order for you to get stronger, more confident, start trusting yourself, and really take your health to the next level. This is all what we want to do here. So sign up for this program. It is totally free. It is called 14-Day Strong and Sensitive course. With that, you're going to get 14 days of daily lessons that will be delivered into your mailbox, email mailbox, and you will just follow each day. You can, of course, take it slower too if you need to, but these 14 days will be in your inbox one at a time. And I just really want you to listen to these lessons, take them in, and also try out the workouts. And I think you're going to like it. So like I said, today we're going to talk about the empowerment that strength training can really have. And I'm also going to show you some evidence, what some people have said, like I mentioned before. Now, I want to say that if you are still thinking that I am not supposed to exercise, I'm not supposed to work out because my sensations are so bad, and if you know that you have TMS, then I want to ask you, how well do you really understand the definition of TMS? Because the definition is that there's nothing physically wrong with you. Your problems, your aches and pains and other symptoms that you may have are coming from heightened nervous system and your brain. They're not coming from a physical source. So I think that you probably have figured that out. You have been, tested for all kinds of things. You've seen so many therapists and practitioners, and a lot of them have no clue what's going on. There's no clear physical thing going on in your body. You didn't break anything. You didn't twist anything. You didn't tear anything. If you did, these are acute problems and they need to be dealt with. Yes, this is when you need medical help. But in this case, when we're talking about brain and nervous system problem, and this is causing your sensations, then you have to understand where it is really coming from. And if you truly understand it, then you are not afraid of exercise. This is not to say that it's not going to be sometimes uncomfortable. Of course, if you have sensations in the body, then it is harder to exercise. Like some movements might be really limited. And I know this really well. My back was hurting really bad sometimes. So of course, sometimes you need to modify or change something. But I don't want you to think that you're not supposed to exercise because that's going to make my symptoms worse. If you still think that way, then really ask, do I understand what TMS is? And the second thing, ask yourself, how sure am I that I do have TMS? Because you have to have clarity and you have to have this clear understanding that this is really what's going on. And once you have it, once you have the understanding that you're dealing with mind-body syndrome, TMS, and you realize that the problem comes from your brain and nervous system, then you should also realize that you are free to exercise. You're free to go and move even if it's just a little bit. And I really want to emphasize that too, because you can do a little bit. You don't have to do a ton. I'm definitely not telling you to do something that you have never done before. If you've never lifted a barbell, don't go lift barbells. If you've never lifted a dumbbell, maybe don't start just today. Maybe do something body weight. Maybe go on a longer walk and just start training your brain and nervous system that way. Now, why is this beneficial? Because it shows your brain and nervous system that you can handle this stuff, that you are strong, that you are not fearful. Because fear is, of course, the number one thing that keeps the TMS around, right? So many people have still this fear. They might be saying things like, if I go on a longer walk than 20 minutes or 10 minutes, then I'm definitely going to have pain later. So therefore, I can't do it. I shouldn't be doing it. But this is a totally wrong approach to take, because as we know, the problem is not in your tissues. It's not in your muscles or bones or ligaments. You haven't hurt anything there. So why can't you walk? Now, of course, you can go on a walk and you may get a sensation. And then you might say, see, I told you, right? But you still have to understand that you didn't overdo it. You didn't do too much. What the reaction right now is that you feel in your body is the reaction from your brain and nervous system. Because the stuff that you're doing right now, when you are extending, a little bit, you're doing a little bit more, you're getting outside of your comfort zone, you're adding a little bit of movement. This is a new thing for your brain and for your nervous system. And they might be feeling like, whoa, what's that? And now it's your job to let them know that what you're doing is normal. Because all healthy people are exercising. Most healthy people are exercising. That's what makes people healthy. And you are no different because you are healthy, right? Because if you have TMS, there's nothing wrong with you. In a physical sense, there's nothing wrong with you. What we have to work with is the mindset, is the emotions, definitely emotions. This is a big, big part. And like how you view yourself, how positive or negative your mindset is. These are all the tools that you have to use. And this is how you really retrain your brain so that it can start handling more and it can start seeing that, oh, there's nothing wrong. Everything is actually fine. Now, when we start strength training, and a lot of people, as you see later, have said that their symptoms actually have gone down, the reason isn't that they are strengthening a certain muscle, right? For example, a very common thing, if somebody has back pain, you can find like thousands, maybe millions of practitioners who are trying to tell you that your glutes are weak or your core is weak. Very, very common. So now when you start exercising, and you may start feeling better, it's not because you strengthen your glutes and your core. It's because by practicing movement, you are sending the brain the message that I am strong. It's this empowerment aspect that matters here, and that's what makes the difference. That's why you may start feeling better. It doesn't come from the fact that now your glutes are stronger. I think in some cases, maybe, if we're talking about a person who doesn't have TMS, maybe they need to strengthen their glutes or core. But for those of us who are dealing with TMS, mind-body syndrome, this strengthening the healing doesn't come from strengthening the body. Rather, it comes from strengthening the mind and showing the brain that you are strong, you're capable, and over time, even if at first you do get symptoms, over time, your brain will be like accepting it and will be, seeing that, oh, nothing bad is going on, we can carry on with this exercise thing. So I hope that this is really, really clear. Why we're doing this, it is to strengthen your mind. Of course, when you strengthen your body, also a lot of good positive things come from that. So what are the things? Strength, obviously, very important for life. Maintaining muscle mass. Honestly, when you maintain muscle, you're guaranteed to have better health. Muscle tissue is associated with so many factors that contribute to the quality of your life and your overall health. So building muscle is really investment into your future. It really is that way. And a lot of people are only really focused on weight loss and fat loss. Okay, those are fine goals too. Nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people need that sort of help too. But I can guarantee you, if you don't even lose weight, but you're able to gain muscle, which you do through strength training, you're going to still have amazing health benefits. One of them, for example, is better blood sugar regulation. So we reduce our risk of diabetes for sure. And I know this really well from my experience because I did have, for a period of time, I had elevated fasting blood sugar, and this was a problem. I had to change my diet, and I also started exercising in a smarter way. I started really focusing on muscle building. And when you have more muscle in your body, that actually clears that blood sugar from the system easier. So your muscles actually absorb it. And that's why you don't get this effect where you have like circulating like high levels of sugars that will cause problems and high levels of insulin. So building muscle is very important for that purpose. Also hormonal health. A lot of people don't know that, but actually if you are doing healthy, appropriate strength training, you are very likely improving your hormonal health. So this can include for women's cycle health, by the way, too. And you will also increase your testosterone, which is not only for men. Women need testosterone too, so they can have drive, so they can have more like enthusiasm. They have this like, I can get things done. So this is what testosterone does, and we need that, right? And you can actually increase that with strength training as well. Of course, men have more testosterone than women, but women have it too. So blood sugar health, overall hormonal health, physical strength. There's nothing better than feeling like I'm strong. I can do the things that I previously used to need help with, from somebody else. I can do these things now. This is very, very empowering. Muscle has so many great benefits, but I want to today focus on the mindset aspect of it and how strength training can really help you with your TMS symptoms as well. And like I said, I'm going to read to you a couple of messages that I have been receiving from people who have signed up for my Train to Build starter program and what they have been saying. The first one that I want to read to you is this. It's such a great program. I'm already seeing results, more muscle and increased endurance, along with fewer TMS symptoms, right? Fewer TMS symptoms. And why she's getting that is exactly because she's showing her brain through action when she is doing resistance training, also known as strength training, that she is not afraid of anything. She's not afraid of anything. And that's how her symptoms then go down. The other one is really good too. It says, I started the beginner's program. I have mind-body sensations, but I know in my heart and soul that it's coming from my brain. I'm not afraid because I know at the end doing something out of my comfort zone is going to keep me moving forward. It always does. I love the program. I'm going to be strong one step at a time. I love it because she says that she knows that her sensations are coming from her brain and there's nothing physically wrong with her. So she has this attitude, I'm going to move forward no matter what. I'm going to do this. The next one I want to read to you is probably my favorite. And this is really, really good. So this is, again, somebody who started the strength training program. And she's talking about how she was focusing on the videos that I show in the program. So in the program, every exercise has a video, and I will walk you through how exactly to do this. And she says, I took a break in between exercise to drink some water, and I was otherwise really focused on your videos. I let it run over and over to make sure I'm going to do the exercise correctly. And I just realized that the sensations were gone out the door. I totally forgot all about TMS. All I thought about was doing the exercises and breathing. Oh my gosh, pain was all gone for a while. If that isn't proof that this is TMS, I don't know what then. Wow, big aha moment. This is gold. I think this says everything here. Let's go back a little bit. I want to read some of the parts again to you. She says, I realized the sensations were gone out the door. I totally forgot all about TMS. And this is because she was focused on the exercise. She was focused on what she was doing. She wasn't hyper-focused on, oh my God, is there a little bit of sensation? Oh my God, like monitoring, like the hypervigilance, right? She didn't do any of that. She instead focused on exercises, she focused on breathing, and she felt better. And this was a mini training for the brain too, right? Mini training. And she's going to do more and more and more of it. And over time, the brain will learn that it is all okay. Another one I want to read to you is, I have been able to increase reps and band strength. So in this program, we work with body weight. So if you add more repetitions than you did last week, you're gaining strength. If you're able to use heavier band, that means that you're gaining strength too. She also says, going up and down stairs is a lot easier than it was before starting the program. This is great. I really like it. And I want to read one more for you. and this is this one. I hope more people will find you because no other trainer I know is helping TMS people learn how to build strength without causing further symptoms. And here I just want to say that, yes, this is what I really want to help people with, because I have experienced TMS for a long time, right? Had it like 6-something years. And also the personal training part, I have been a personal trainer since 2014, so 10 years. And now combining these two, and I know what you're going through. If you have mind-body symptoms, I know how you feel. I know the fears that you are probably having. And this is why I really want to help you to overcome this through exercise and show you that you can absolutely get stronger, and it can also help you to reduce your symptoms. This is the empowerment part for those who are just getting started and kind of thinking a little bit, can I, should I don't know if things will get worse. Oh my God. You have to kick that thought process out the window because it's not serving you. And you have to approach this with a really empowered mindset. I am doing this. Look at me. I got this. This is what your attitude needs to be. It can't be fearful. It can't be like, ooh, how is it going to go? It can't be like this, because then it's not going to work. Make sure that you are strong, you are exactly knowing what you're doing, and then just get started. The other part of empowerment is for those who have already done a little bit of exercise, right? They have been lifting weights for a bit, or maybe even years. And what I see still, over the years of all this experience that I have as, coaching people, first in person and now online, I still work with people over Zoom too. And what I see sometimes is that they use much lighter weights than what they're actually capable of using. A good example would be somebody doing rows and taking the 10-pound dumbbell, and I see how easily it moves. But the person is just so afraid, right? So we don't have that level of self-trust. And I'm telling, it's probably, actually, I think it is 10 times out of 10 that I can tell the person, you can go heavier. You can go heavier, but the person just doesn't trust herself. Most people can go a little bit heavier. Now, if you're a total beginner, maybe don't grab the dumbbells just yet. I mean, you could, nothing bad will probably happen. But if you want to keep it on a really safe side, start with body weight. But for those who already have a little bit of experience, I see that there's still lack of self-trust, and they can actually do more. And why should we lift heavier if this is possible? Is that then we gain more muscle, we get stronger, we're sending the body the signal of building more muscle, regulating hormones, regulating the blood sugar, all that, but you're also sending the brain that muscle that, wow, look at that, I did more. I was able to lift heavier. This is awesome. And I see this quite often. I remember that years ago, I had one quite advanced client who was also lifting weights, and she sent me a video of her doing deadlifts. So deadlift is the exercise where you basically pull the weight off the floor. You can do it with dumbbells, but she was more advanced and she was working with barbells. And she sent me the video. She had 175 pounds on the barbell, which is a very good weight. And don't worry if you're not there yet. We're not comparing. I'm just showing you, giving you one example. And I could tell that she was lifting that weight off the floor fairly easily. It really wasn't a problem. And I told her, I know that you are ready for 200 pounds. And she asked me, you think so? You sure? You sure? I don't know. I said, yes, I am sure, because I can tell how you're moving. I can tell based on that. And 2 days later, she sent me a video of her doing a deadlift with 200 pounds. This is the power of somebody telling you that you got this. And guess what? You can be that person for yourself. You can work with a coach, which is, awesome. You get encouragement that way, but you can also be that person for yourself who encourages and says you got this, you got this. Obviously, don't go and do silly things. Don't do things that you've never tried before and start them with extremely heavy weight. This is not at all what I'm talking about here, but you probably are able to do more than what you think. And this is the whole TMS story actually too, right? A lot of us think that we can't recover. There's something wrong with us. We're so different. I thought this all the time too. I swear to God, I was yeah, probably not going to get better. I had this thought all the time. And little by little, when I started finding the right tools for me, and I think everybody has a little bit different tools, when I started finding the right tools for me, the change actually did start happening. But I needed to tell myself that I can, that I am able to do this, that I got this too. just like everybody else. And you can think the same way if you see somebody's success story and how they've been able to go from like being completely, in bed because their pain was so bad or symptoms were so bad, to now lifting weights and being in phenomenal shape. You can think, this could be me too. This can be me. There's no reason why I can't be this way. But it has to be, the beginning point has to be your brain. It has to be a decision. You have to have the knowing clear that I know what's going on. I know how to deal with this, and I know that movement will help me. And I think it's so awesome that we have so many great people on YouTube sharing their knowledge about TMS and coaching people. But I think the movement is one piece that hasn't gotten enough attention. And I want to kind of fill this gap because I think it can be such a powerful tool that will even more show your brain that everything is all right. Because if you're still afraid of it, then your recovery is going to be slower. You have to do the things that you are afraid of. This is really the most important thing. Otherwise, your brain is going to be stuck in thinking that you can't and you can't, because that's what you're telling. So one thing is like telling your brain things. The other thing is like showing, actually taking action. And when you start doing a little bit of resistance training, then this is your action. If you haven't done that yet, it can be very, very powerful. Okay, so this is what I had for you today. I hope this episode was empowering, and hopefully the examples that I showed you, these messages that I shared, will also make you feel empowered and be like, okay, I got this in me as well. I am no different than these people. I got this. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care.